Hey guys, it's me Chan Dragon, and today I will do a little bit fun discussion about Alhaitham since will be his first run, so why not I make the topic about him. So this is actually more into future Alhaitham puller or the one that considering to get for him. But even though you already have Alhaitham Haver, feel free to listen this because this is just fun discussion though. So this topic about Alhaitham is actually very strong unit or strong character, but if you kinda pay attention since release until right now, Alhaitham don't get so much attention, so he kinda get underestimate. Maybe they think Alhaitham just okay, but actually Alhaitham is more than that. He's actually a very strong unit, so that's why you should kinda consider to go for him, especially if you need on-field DPS or on-field damage dealer. Then yeah, you should consider. So the first thing that I will talk about is that why Alhaitham is strong but getting underestimated by people is that first, he's getting overshadowed by Nahida. Nahida is just way too broken, it's just way too good though. And of course he's Archon, so Nahida makes the gap between every single character in 3.0 just looks kind of worse. And to make it worse is that Nahida and Alhaitham has similar roles, and people always think like, why if you already have the best Dendro unit, why you need another one, right? And Alhaitham also only on field, so it become more restrict, right? But they kinda still forget that Alhaitham still deal a lot of high damage, and as a team also, he's still a very good unit to consider. And I think another thing is that Alhaitham come after Nahida, where it makes the attention become lesser. Just because if Alhaitham come first, people will testing first, right? And will say, oh, actually, Alhaitham is pretty good. And after the Nahida come, then people will say, oh, actually, Nahida is still better than Alhaitham, but Alhaitham still doing a decent job. And yeah, if they make the order like it, probably it can change the perspective about Alhaitham. But just because Nahida come first and after the Alhaitham, when you already see like it's worse in Nahida, you just say nah, skip. Like you don't want to pay attention more into detail. You just feel like if it's worse, then that's it. Nahida still all the way. And second, I feel that the order of Alhaitham come when the first time he come is not really that great, just because that time Lantern, right, and the rerun banner is Hutao and Yilan. Basically, he just don't get so much attention. People just keep for him and just go for Yelan and Hutao, but they don't realize that actually Alhaitham is very good unit though. And second things that I'll talk about Alhaitham, and also this is also another warning why actually should not looks too much in leaks. Even though you see leaks, just like take as a grain of salt and not really into it, just because Alhaitham get nerfed by a lot in beta and quite drastical, and some of them I feel yeah it's quite not fair, but actually I'm quite tend to the fair though, just because his first original number is just way too strong, I would say, for the current state of Genshin Impact, because I know they don't want to make power creep anymore. If the numbers stay like that, it will can be outperform Hutao or Aika, quite sure though. Just because Hyperbloom is just way too strong, and imagine his base stat is just way too strong, it just can be outperform Ayaka and Hutao, which is they don't want to do that though. And even with all those crazy nerfs, it still make Alhaitham as a second best Dendro unit. Yeah, I know some of people will argue Nilo, right? But take a look with Nilo restriction. It only allow Nilo to play in Bloom, so it's pretty hard for you to become flexible. So some of the situation where Bloom cannot be advantage, then Nilo is doomed, right? And Nilo's pretty much really need Nahida, and Alhaitham don't need that, which is I will explain later though. So because of that, Alhaitham provide more kinda wide range of coverings that makes even more reliable than Nilo. Because of that, he's basically the second best Dendro unit and the best character for non-Archon in 3.0 series. And the third point about Alhaitham is that his gameplay is not easy if you compare to other top DPS. A lot of people say Alhaitham is not easy in terms of rotation, and yeah, I also say it's kinda agree, because you need to pay attention with mirror itself, and then you cannot just like do like unga bunga. You cannot do like how Hutao, Shincho, Xiongli shield and do the skill and just charge attack until the end. Yeah, you can just like that. But Alhaitham, you cannot do like that. You have to do burst first. You do like normal attack, you count, and then if you see the mirror already too, you need to do skill, get the 3 mirror and blah 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 so on. You need to do combo in order to get constant applying. If you don't do that, then the damage gap can be very different. So because of that, maybe some of people don't like, and I know some of not some, I think majority of Genshin Impact player is casual, so this kind of gameplay probably not really favored by a lot of people. But if you can master it, it's basically it can give you a lot of high team DPS. And that I'll talk more why actually you should consider about Alhaitham. and why actually he's actually very strong is that at the C0, especially this is more for free to play, the one that very minimal investment, is more stable compared to other top DPS though. Just because the investment that put on Alhaitham not that much, and the party they're actually very good for Alhaitham, besides Nahida of course, it's actually pretty accessible. And you can see like in terms of weapon, the best weapon for free to play is literally Iron Sting for Alhaitham, and the one that even you can get free if you play the Inazuma event about the yokai one, the umbrella one, that's literally you can get for free, and if you make it R5 actually it's very good, especially in the single target. That weapon is very good for Alhaitham. And also another option for the weapon for him is that Jade Cutter, that the difference with the signature weapon is just very small. You can see my comparison video, which is it's very accessible if you maybe lose 50-50 in your weapon banner and get Jade Cutter, or you do your pull and standard banner and get Jade Cutter, then that's one of the best weapon for Alhaitham. And also the party, you only probably need another Dendro MC, and you need Hydro character like Shincho, very accessible, or even Yolanda, I believe most of you already have, or even like the Cookie Shinobu, or you want Visual. And yeah, you see most of them is foreshadowed very good with Alhaitham, but in fact if you want to pair with Nahida, it's become a lot stronger. And if you compare with other like top tier DPS, let's say like an Ayaka is one of the best DPS unit, but the thing is that in order to make that the best of Ayaka team, let's say in the freeze, you need quite high investment. First is mid splitter, you need Shenhe in order to get the maximum potential, and you may put like Sucrose, but most of the people use Kazuha and even Kokomi, and all of them is what, 5-star. It's just way much different in Alhaitham, like compared in terms of investment. And Hu Tao, in order to maximize Hu Tao is what, C1 with Staff of Homa, right? And some of the cases you even need strongly. Of course, if you want the free to play one, you can ignore and use Toma, but still the very best line is C1 and Staff of Homa, which is Alhaitham don't need C0 with Iron Sting or the Umbrella, you're done. And other thing is only 4-star. If you just want to make better, yeah, Nahida. So yeah, if you just compare about the baseline itself at the C0, Alhaitham actually can on par with Hu Tao or Ayaka, but just like I know some of people already make Hu Tao C1 with Staff of Homa, of course your Hu Tao will looks better than Alhaitham, but at the baseline they're quite similar. And the fifth point, I think Alhaitham the only Dendro character or Dendro unit character related that not dependent on Nahida. Probably if I have to argue a little bit is Tinari, but yeah, only few, only even like between Alhaitham and Tinari and stuff that they not dependent on Nahida. So because of that, it's allowed you also for you to running two different Dendro team comp. And so let's say you want to make like Alhaitham spread in the first half and the second half is like Nahida or maybe Hyperbloom stuff. So and both of them investment is not that much either because Dendro is very low, so you can get like strong team with the low investment without you kind of have to afford that much. So Alhaitham helped you to do that. And also like why he's not really dependent on Nahida, just because he's applying already very good if you do a good rotation. So because of that he doesn't really need another like constant Dendro applier though. But of course if you put two constant Dendro applier then it's become cracked though. But because of that it's gonna give like flexibility for Alhaitham to go with Dendro MC, which is less stable than Nahida itself, which is still work great. If you just compare like Sino with Dendro MC or Sino with Nahida, the difference is just way too different, just because like Sino really need a constant Dendro applier, so putting Dendro MC it's not enough. But Alhaitham simply can ignore it just because his own applying already good with the good rotation. And the last thing that I will talk about is that it's basically quite future proof, just because also one of the reason that if you want to just think very simple is that Nahida is the broken character, basically the best Dendro unit, and the second best Dendro unit is what? Alhaitham. So basically if you already say if Nahida broken, the second is what? Still very strong, right? It's very strong characters, basically quite future proof. Let's say you see like how Hu Tao perform and Ayaka, it's still future proof until right now. Even though Ayaka struggle right now, you can still clear content, right? Just because Ayaka base is just way strong. And so that's with Alhaitham. Alhaitham is base is of course a little bit lower than Hu Tao and Ayaka, but it's still high or above average. And not because of that Hyper Bloom is one of the reaction that's super strong that can boost also with Alhaitham. So because of that, it's quite hard for you to make Alhaitham look bad just because his base actually already above average and he still have Hyper Bloom, and also he has the personal damage add-on. Besides you doing a lot of different like reaction, like Hyper Bloom, you already deal a lot of damage, right? Alhaitham have like additional damage which come from the projection mirror, where if you see the blade kinda swing like sideline, right? Yeah, that's still also a lot of damage. And maybe some of you still doubt about Alhaitham itself, alright? But yeah, we can take like good example in here, because this time like in 3.7 Spiral Abyss is one of the hardest in a while, like I hope to say, and Alhaitham can survive even at the worst condition that I will expect. And the second half is basically the condition where Alhaitham get a lot of advantage, and yeah, you can clear that easily without Nahida. So if you pair with Nahida, it's even a lot easier, but that's one without Nahida even, it's already feel easy. It's not that hard. And then yeah, I will still agree the worst part about using Alhaitham is the first half, where it has like different like multi-waves in the first half, which is you need to do a lot of repetition in there, which is yeah, it makes Alhaitham a little bit kinda annoying to use, but you still can clear until the end though. As a proof, yeah, I finished all of them using Alhaitham, both chamber though, all full stars. So yeah, you can like, and the funny things about this run that I forgot to put memories on any of my team, so that's why I kind of lose off my 30% of the resistance. That's why also when I do this run, why I feel a little bit kind of slower in terms of like DPS compared to like my usual run, because I forget to put memories, but still can clear it though. That's how strong Alhaitham is though. So yeah, in the end, if you really need a very solid, a very good on-field character, and you can consider to go with Alhaitham. I already told you that in terms of performance, he's above average, and probably the best one besides the Archon in 3-point series. Yeah, some of you say maybe Nilo, but Nilo is very restrictive, and Alhaitham is not. And Alhaitham, you can try with different strategy. You can go with let's say Hyperloom. If it's not work, you can try with Spread, and you can change like maybe Bargain, whatever. So Alhaitham can cover with wider range in terms of reaction. And also, at the baseline at C0, let's say you compare with Uta or Ayaka, and without signature weapon, then Alhaitham pretty much not so much different though. Just because Ayaka probably need mid splitter, Uta may need like C1 with Staff of Homa. Alhaitham, in order to function very well, you only need C0 with like Iron Sting or even the Umbrella weapon. And then the party unit, it's just like I already say, already almost is 4-star. So because of that, it's baseline. If you kinda free to play, Alhaitham is very good choice though. Unless you want to invest more, then yeah, you may go for Huta or Ayakan or Alhaitham. Neither also take notes, Alhaitham is on-field character, where as usual in Genshin Impact, on-field character is not so much important. So if you already have like couple of different DPS, then you may not pull for him anymore, although he's very strong. So pretty much that's it though. I wish the best of luck if you plan to pull Alhaitham, but if you already have Alhaitham right now, I wish you still continue using Alhaitham because he's strong though. And yeah, if you like this video, feel free to hit the subscribe button and like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.